So the very first chair that I reviewed from APOL was this, the APOL Behemoth. Still one of my absolute favorite chairs. And then they sent me this. So this was the APOL Kraken. This is till now one of the favorite of my wife. And now I have the love child of both of these chairs. I'm talking about this. This is the APOL Sphinx. So the APOL Sphinx is sort of their latest design that they have right now, and when I say latest, it's been around for quite some time. It's just that I haven't had the time to review it. But yeah, so it sort of combines some design aspects from both of these chairs. Now, I think one of the easiest ways to say it is that it sort of has the base of the Behemoth with the top of the Kraken. So on the top, you can see, it has that same sort of design. As the Kraken, it sort of sinks in a bit. It's not like this one that has more of a cushion. But even then, it's not that straightforward. Now, even though the top of it looks a lot like the Kraken in terms of where the holes are, how this part goes around like that. But when you look at the backrest, like here, this has a lot more of a cushion. For the APOL Kraken, it's a lot more sunken in. The Sphinx as well is sort of in between. It's sunken in a bit, but you have a little bit of cushion. As for the base, it is pretty much like the Behemoth, but a little bit smaller. It's a lot flatter. It's more similar towards a car chair, whereas for the Kraken, it's more like a bucket seat, but you have the sort of bars that stick up at the side. Now, I said this a few times in my reviews. Now, if you're like me and you like to tuck one of your legs under your other leg, don't get the Kraken, all right? Because of the bars at the side, if you're my size at least, or even a little bit smaller, it would hurt because your leg would press against that bar. So if you're one of those rare people where you like to tuck your legs under your other leg at the base, but at the same time you like this sort of hug that you get from this sort of bucket seat design, the Sphinx is perfect because it has that sort of like a hugging thing at the side, but at the base, it's exactly like the Behemoth. Now, in terms of features, all three are absolutely identical. They both have that 4D armrest, you can raise, lower, tilt, all that kind of stuff. You can raise the chair, lower the chair, you can recline the seat all the way back. I don't know many chairs that can do it. I mean, we reviewed the Razor and it goes just like a little bit. This one goes all the way down, which is kind of scary sometimes. In terms of build quality, not that many complaints. I think it's really good for the price. I will say though, for the Behemoth, even though this has nothing to do with the Sphinx, but for the Behemoth that I reviewed last year, that had sort of a yellow thread around the chair, and I think that was really nice because it had nice accents around. This one doesn't, it's just black on black. I kind of miss that stitching as well. For the Sphinx, again, it's still black on black. I would have liked a little bit of accent, so like a little bit of red threading or even yellow threading. I think that would have been really nice. Well, in terms of the base and the wheel casters, it's pretty much the same for all three. I really like them, they're really smooth. No complaints about that at all. Now, one thing you might realize if you've seen the Behemoth in person is that it's, well, basically a Behemoth, all right? It's really big. And, I've had a lot of friends over who've come in and they've seen the chairs, and now because I've got all three, they love to come and test out all three of them because a few of my friends have actually bought this chair. And they all say the same thing, like, I really like the Behemoth, I love it so much, but it's too big for my room. Now, if you're the kind of person and you like the Behemoth, you like the design, you like how the chair, the base of it is more flat, the Sphinx is the perfect option for you. Because if you think about it, it has, in my opinion, more similarities to the Behemoth than the Kraken. I think for Kraken, it's pretty much just like the top part. In terms of the base, in terms of the looks, it's definitely more like the Behemoth. So you sort of get a lot of benefits of the Behemoth, but in a smaller form factor to fit your room. I will say one thing though, I kind of wish that the Sphinx had a little bit more cushion here at the back. Now, APOL does sell this, so this is their premium pillow set. So the actual premium pillow set comes with this as well as the neck rest. Now, this on the Kraken, to me, is an absolute must because the cushion, the back cushion that comes with the Kraken doesn't do it for me. Now, this premium support set, at least for the backrest, to me, is not just one of the best things to come out of APOL, it is one of the best backrest pillows I've ever seen from any gaming chair. It is so comfortable, the foam is really dense. When you put it on the Kraken, in my opinion, if you buy the Kraken, you should buy this. It is the perfect accompaniment to the Kraken. But here's the problem, it doesn't fit as well on the Sphinx, and I really love it. So I find that it fits the best on the Kraken. As you can see, it sort of fits this whole seat perfectly. Whereas on the Behemoth, it just makes me sit in front a bit too much because this has a cushion. Now this one doesn't have as much of a cushion, so it still kind of works. But I think for someone who's big size seating on the Sphinx, if you use this, you might not have enough space on the base of the chair. Now I only have one small issue with the APOL Sphinx. Now at the backrest of this, somewhere in the middle, you would find that if you press it, you can find a little bit of a gap. Now, of course, that gap will be covered by the PU leather or the soft fabric, whichever you choose. And again, I would always go with fabric, at least if you're in Singapore. But yeah, if you press it, you can sort of see it. And even on the camera, when you press it, you can sort of see my finger go in a bit. It's not an issue when you're sitting upright, you know, and doing your work or playing games or whatever. But if you lean back to rest a bit, you would notice that gap, and it's not too bad. I just found it a little bit weird. Now on the Behemoth, it's not there at all because of this extra cushion. On the Kraken, it's sort of there. I can't tell. It's like almost psychological. It's a little bit, but you definitely can't feel it when you sit. On the Sphinx, you can definitely feel that gap. Now in terms of pricing, all three are exactly the same. And this, like I said before, this is one thing I absolutely love about APOL. They don't penalize you depending on what design you want to get. So if you're a small guy or you prefer this sort of hugging sort of design on the Kraken, or if you're a bigger guy like me and you need to get something like the Behemoth to be comfortable, you're not penalized. It's the exact same price. And if you choose PU leather or if you choose the fabric material, still the same price. And on top of that, they make it very easy for you to sort of keep the chair as long as possible. So a lot of the accessories like the base, the wheel caster, it's all available for sale as well. It's really cheap. They don't try and price it out to the point that you would just rather buy a new chair. So, you know, even though it might not have the longest warranty, the spare parts are really accessible, and kudos to APOL. I think right now they're the only ones that are doing that. So yeah, the price. So the APOL Sphinx goes for 398 Singapore dollars. Same for the Behemoth, same for the Kraken. Now, this is one of the first few gaming chair brands that I reviewed when I started the channel. And even till this day, the Behemoth is still one of my favorites. And the Sphinx as well feels really nice. So if you were to ask me which is my favorite, in a heartbeat, the Behemoth. Within this tree, this is still my favorite. It fits me perfectly to the size, the way I like to sit. I like there's an added cushion here. I don't have to use the additional back pillow. My wife absolutely loves the Kraken because it suits her really well, and with this premium support pillow, till this day, it's one of her most comfortable chairs, not just gaming chairs, but chairs ever. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to like a smaller chair, but with the design aspects of the Behemoth, and if that's you, the Sphinx is the perfect choice. Alright, so that about wraps up my review of the APOL Sphinx. Now, if you like this video, you know what to do, and I would love it if you would subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications on our next video. I'm JP, and I'll see you real soon.